The FLW Tour's regular season comes down to one event, the big money Forest Wood Open. We've got world-class anglers, Lake Champlain's world-class fish, and Forest Wood himself. It's next on FLW Outdoors.
Yes, sir, that's what we're looking for, my friend. Ball game, baby. Yeah.
He could have one more, and he does. We have a champion.
Yeah. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Hallelujah!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to FLW Outdoors. I'm Carlton Wing, along with Charlie Evans, and today we are joining you from Plattsburgh, New York. It's the 6th stop on the FLW Tour, and Charlie, this is the Forest Wood Open. Very prestigious, and there's a lot on the line at this tournament.
We've got a lot of nervous people here, Carlton. Our final event of the year will determine several things, as you say. Our top 48 anglers will be determined that qualify the championship in Birmingham, Alabama, along with the top 100 that are allowed to come back next year, guaranteed spot in next year's competition, plus the competition for the Angler of the Year wraps up.
That's right. We've got a new Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year. He's from Japan, and we set some history.
Absolutely we have. For the very first time, a rookie has won along the Walmart FLW Tour. Shin Fukai from Osaka, Japan. He wiped out the field this year. 3 top 10s in the course of this season. His first time ever to see any of these waterways in the United States. An amazing story there. Let's talk about now our Forest Wood Open. Our 10 finalists have taken the water. They left this morning at launch. It was a beautiful Lake Champlain day, but there was some tension there because we've got our top 8 pros are all within 2 pounds of each other. I tell you what, this competition is going to be just amazing here on Lake Champlain. You said lots of competition, lots to fish to compete with. I mean, we have fish everywhere. Everybody's going to catch a limit today, no doubt about that. It's going to come down to ounces to determine who's going to win this event.
I think it'll be a good limit first couple hours, and then go relax and go catch some fish, big ones, hopefully. Just being here is great. I mean, as far as just being able to fish up here, even if I wasn't in a tournament, so it's just, I'm just looking forward to going out there and hopefully catching some smallmouth, just having a good time.
It's a horse race, isn't it? There's no one running away with it. You get the right bite today, and then it could be career changing.
Charlie, our anglers have a lot to fish for in this tournament. $1.25 million on the line in our total purse.
That's a huge purse, $200,000 first place prize, and paying down 75 places, 50th place on the pro side, $10,000.
All of our anglers knew about that payday as they came into Lake Champlain, and every one of our 200 pros had their sights set on that first place prize. Getting to this point, however, was tough. Let's take a look at the rough waters of day 1 and 2 here on Lake Champlain.
I love New York.
Forest Wood Open. Day 1.
Launch on Lake Champlain started just minutes ago, and the weather is picture perfect. Clear and very little wind, and that should open the door for some big stringers on day 1. These pros know of Champlain's potential. On the FLW's last trip here, they shattered the record for total catch.
There's going to be some bags of fish caught today that are unbelievable. They're going to bring in some big stringers. There's a lot of good fish here, smallmouth and largemouth.
When Sam Newby won the 2002 event, he did it mainly on sight fish. Different approach this time for the Kellogg's pro, sitting in 10 feet of water and casting a Lucky Craft pointer to 6 feet. Champlain is such a strong fishery that almost anything works, from Michael Black flipping a tube, to Dan Mansky Carolina rigging, to Jimmy Millsaps with a fluke. And somewhere in the middle of those shallow reeds is Fujifilm pro Wes Thomas.
There we go.
Nowhere near the quality fish he wants, but it's a start for Thomas.
Hey, that's a keeper.
Thomas called that fish in a hurry, and so did everybody else. The total day 1 catch broke the Champlain record from 2 years ago, with 189 pros toting limits.
This is a fun place to fish.
I have never been any place like this, Charlie. It's unreal.
Remember Jimmy Millsaps? That fluke he was throwing helped him get 18-12 and third place.
I'm working it a little different than most people. I'm working it sort of fast, then I'm sort of just killing it.
Garmin pro Rob Kilby caught a limit of all smallmouth in deeper water on a tungsten Terminator spinnerbait.
It travels through the column of water that I'm trying to fish at a rapid pace, and that's what they have to have.
Leading the way, David Walker with just over 20 pounds, all largemouth, flipping a tube to holes in shallow grass. In the Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year race, Shinichi Fukai's lead appears secure. He stands in 17th place. His nearest challengers, Yamaha pro Greg Hackney and Castrol pro Mike Sermon, are tied for 71st. Snickers Big Bass for day one, a 6'5" largemouth from Yamaha pro Alton Jones.
Forest Wood Open. Day 2.
It's day 2 at Lake Champlain, which means for 190 of our pros, this is the final day of the 2004 regular season. However, there are 85 pros within 4 pounds of the top 10 cut. It's still anybody's ball game at the Forest Wood Open.
I'm right where I want to be. I mean, I'm right on the edge there where I need to be, and the potential's there to catch a nice sack today.
Kind of nervous, ready to go get them though. There's still a lot of fish out there, just waiting to see what the wind does.
This is your kind of conditions, aren't they?
Yeah, I love it like this.
I hope I can get them caught before the wind starts blowing. I think we're supposed to have some 25, 30-mile-an-hour winds today, and that's going to be pretty rough where I'm fishing at.
The best anglers in the world knew they'd have to beat Mother Nature and the fish today. Kellogg's pro Alvin Shaw landed a limit in just over an hour after launch. Catching fish wasn't the problem, catching quality was the key. Shaw improved to 55th place and earned a $10,000 payday. Fellow Kellogg's pro Clark Wendland would earn a 30th place finish thanks to this keeper. For all of Lake Champlain's beauty and the amazing abundance of fish, wind is a common nemesis. It affects the fish, but mainly it affects the fishermen. As the afternoon advanced, so did the wind. Meanwhile, the weigh-in was a show and tell of the day's events. While many anglers were focused on winning the Forest Wood Open, others needed a strong showing here to qualify for August's FLW Championship.
I had 9.6 yesterday and 17.10 today, so I'm cutting it pretty close on the championship. I think I came back today and caught enough weight to put me in the championship.
Also on day 2, Shinichi Fukai secured 24th place and clinched the 2004 Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year, capping an amazing season. As for the Forest Wood Open, Rob Kilby continued to dominate, moving from second to first place with 16 pounds 10 ounces. David Walker is just behind Kilby after returning to his top spot 65 miles away.
I thought it was a gamble I needed to take. Went down there this morning, caught one first cast. 10 minutes later, I had maybe 12, 13 pounds of fish in a boat.
A talented field enters the final round, including 2003 Angler of the Year Dan Moorhead, last year's Forest Wood Open champ Aaron Martins, Fuji Pro Randy Blockett, and BF Goodrich Pro Scott Martin. As you just saw, those who survived the qualifying round truly earned their spot in the final round. Taylor Carr is with one of our pros right now.
Well, the weather is so good that our leader has changed his tactics. This is Fuji pro Randy Blockett, and he had planned to fish a jerkbait in this area, but the water is so flat and calm, he's sight fishing now. And here's what Randy's looking at. This is in 8 to 10 feet of water, a smallmouth bass locked on the bed, and in the last 30 minutes, Randy's caught 4 of those. If the water stays calm and clear, he may sight fish the rest of the day. If the wind picks up, he'll go back to throwing a jerkbait. He's our leader right now, and a bit later we'll find out how Randy Blockett's doing, but it's pretty exciting out here.
Well, thank you, Taylor. We've got a lot to look forward to on this edition of FLW Outdoors. Our own Larry Nixon is on the water with another one of our top finalists.
He's with David Walker on the south end of the lake, catching largemouth down there. Matter of fact, David had the largest stringer of the week, 20 pounds, 3 ounces on day 1.
That's coming up. We'll also talk to the rest of our field on the water while they fish, find out how they're doing. And then a little bit later on, our finalists will take the stage behind us. We're getting it ready to crown a champion at the Forest Wood Open.
Not the size I wanted, but start, I guess.
Hi, I'm Plattsburgh, New York Mayor Dan Stewart. Welcome to New York. I think you're going to love it.
I love New York.
I love New York.
I love New York.
I love New York.
Welcome back to FLW Outdoors and coverage of the 2004 Forest Wood Open. And Charlie, as we take a look at our field of finalists, this is one of the most talented top 10 we've had all year.
Unbelievable, Carlton. Champions stacked one on top of the other. One newcomer, first time in the top 10.
All right, well, let's meet our talented field of finalists. Just 2 pounds separates our top 8. It's going to be a shootout. Here we go. Finalist number 1 from Satsuma, Alabama, Jason Kilpatrick. He's just 4 pounds and 13 ounces off the lead. 3 pounds off the lead from Hot Springs, Arkansas, Rob Kilby. In 8th place from Grove City, Ohio, Charlie Hartley. BF Goodrich Pro Scott Martin back in the top 10 for the 7th time. He finished 4th the last time the FLW Tour visited Lake Champlain. In 6th place from Gastonia, North Carolina, Snickers Pro Chris Baumgardner. In 5th place from Rogersville, Alabama, Jonathan Newton. Castaic, California's Aaron Martins is the defending Forest Wood Open champion. He won the last Forest Wood Open at Lake Wheeler last year. David Walker is just 2 ounces off the lead in the hunt for yet another FLW Tour victory. In 2nd place, just 1 ounce off the lead from Paducah, Kentucky, Dan Moorhead. And our leader heading into today's competition is the Fuji Pro from Lamar, Missouri, Randy Blockett, holding a very narrow lead with a total weight right now of 16 pounds and 2 ounces. Aaron Martins won the Forest Wood Open last year. He's gunning for another title this year. He's with Taylor Carr right now.
Yeah, and it's a perfect day for what Aaron Martins is trying to do. He's only 14 ounces off the lead, and he's got some sight bass spotted, smallmouth bass. You're looking at some right now. Aaron, what are you seeing down there?
I see about, you can't tell when they're about 10, 12 foot deep. This is probably a 2.5, 3 pounder. He ate me about 2 flips ago, but he hasn't looked at it since. They do that a lot. I'm just trying to find fish that are still here. A lot of fish got picked off.
Aaron has a remarkable ability to see fish that other people can't see on the bottom. Aaron, how do you explain your ability to do that?
I don't know. I can see them really good, actually. I know what to look for exactly. I'm sort of colorblind, so I kind of look for shadows, and really shadows are what I look for. And I can see that. Like, you can't see a fish, but I'll see the shadow on the bottom. That's really what I'm looking for.
Hey, you won this big money tournament last year. Does that experience help you today?
No, I won this one just as bad as the last one. It's nerve-wracking, especially when you're looking at fish, you know, that could win it for you. And like, this one's taking a lot longer than I thought. And it's... That's a 2 3/4. Oops, sorry, fishy. I don't mistreat my bass, but there's a lot of money on the line. He thumped it pretty good. There's a lot of big fish in this lake to be caught right now. On a day like today, there's gonna be some weight caught today. I got a slow start. I won't be happy until I hit about 19 pounds, I think. I just hope I get that.
These pros love fishing for smallmouth because they're so aggressive. Aaron, you've had a great start today. We're shortly into the day and you got 4 fish in the boat. We'll let you fish. Good luck. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Taylor. Back to work.
And he's got 9 or 10 more spots he may check today. Good start for Aaron Martins, 14 ounces out of the lead and already 4 fish in the boat.
Well, normally at this point in the program, we usually go to an interview with Scott Martin, talking to one of our finalists on Friday. However, Scott went off and made the top 10 himself.
He's out there today, and he's out there doing a great job. Scott, how's it going?
Well, you know, it's going real well. I had a pretty rock-solid plan on what I wanted to do today, pretty much this whole tournament. My plan was to make the cut off bedding fish that I had found down on the south end of the lake. And then my other part of the plan was to hopefully win the tournament on the north end of the lake. And today I wanted to go out and catch a decent bag of fish, sight fishing early. And I had that by 8:30 this morning. I've got about a 13 or 14 pound bag. And now I'm going to spend the rest of the day really fishing slow and methodical out here on the side of this island and catch 3 or 4 big 4-pound smallmouth. And I think with a couple of those or 3 or 4 big 4-pounders, I think I'm going to win the tournament.
Scott, there is a very tight group of anglers. The top 8 are separated by less than 2 pounds. What kinds of things can you do to make sure you get just that extra edge to win this tournament today?
Well, having new fish is the key to this tournament. You know, catching a lot of fish on this lake's usually not too much of a problem, but having an area that has fish over 4 pounds or close to 4 pounds is a hard thing to do. And I think a lot of these guys maybe didn't put enough time in to find some places for day 4, and that's what this island is going to do for me today. I haven't hit it at all, but just a little bit, and so I plan on fishing a lot of fresh fish today that are here. I know they're here, they're not going anywhere, so it's a matter of me just getting in here and fishing real methodical and taking my time and catching these fish because they haven't seen a lure yet.
All right, thanks a lot for talking with us, Scott. We will see you at the weigh-in. Best of luck to you.
Thank you very much. We'll see you then.
All right, that's Scott Martin, 1 pound, 6 ounces off the lead. He's in 7th place. That's the bad news, but he's very close to the lead. He's fishing pretty well.
And got a lot of confidence. He thinks he's going to win this event. He's around some really big fish.
All right, let's talk about another guy who's got a lot of confidence as well. Sevierville, Tennessee's David Walker. He's just 2 ounces off of the lead, looking for another FLW title. Larry Nixon is with David right now.
Right now I'm out here with David Walker, and he's catching largemouth in the grass, pitching a jig. And David, can you tell me why you chose to run this far and fish this particular area?
Because the fishing is so good, Larry. I mean, it's that simple. I come down here one day of practice just to get it out of my system so I know I don't have to make a run like that. And they was biting so good that I thought, uh-oh, I got to come back here.
I'm impressed. That boat ride he made Thursday getting back took 3 hours. That's how rough that lake got. And was there ever a time that you thought you wasn't going to make it?
Well, when we first left, I didn't know if we could or not, because when we first left out of here, went over and got fuel, you know, you hit that open part of the lake after it makes a turn, and the waves were enormous. And I mean, it was just ragged. It was just rough, and you really had to pick and take your time and stop and put fresh water on the fish, keep from killing them. But I gave myself 4 hours to make it in. And I don't think that was a fish, but I gave myself 4 hours so that way I knew at no time did I have to really push myself, so I wasn't worried about it. There he is. Oh, it's a fish. There's another one with him. There's another one right here. We're gonna whack him right there. Another one the same size. Who's right there with him?
Well, you saw that. When he finds them, you know, he catches them. He had 2 bites and 2 pitches right there, and another one followed it in. So it's a pretty neat pattern. In fact, for a flipper like David Walker, it's probably the most awesome pattern that you can get, and that's flipping his favorite lure, a jig with a Zoom super chunk trailer on the back into heavy weeds, and he's using big line. You don't have to worry about them breaking your line, and just flip it in there, and when they get it, set the hook and throw them in the floor.
Thank you, Larry. All right, David Walker is making that real long run, and he needs to catch some bigger fish.
He's running over 60 miles one way to catch largemouth. He's catching a lot of fish, hadn't got the quality ones yet.
All right, when we come back on FLW Outdoors, Taylor Carr is on the water with our leader, Fuji Pro Randy Blockett.
Oh, man. Whew. Look at that perch you spit up. All right. I thought she spit the bait out there. There we go. That's, you can win with that right there. That's a 3.5 pounder. Woo.
FLW Outdoors is brought to you by Walmart. Always low prices, always. By Kellogg's, the best to you each morning. By Everstart Batteries, more power for your money. And by Ozark Trail.
Hi, I'm Lowry's Pro Jim Moyna from Carver, Minnesota. It's time to play today's trivia game where you can go online and win. Lawrence Frank opened Lowry's Restaurant in California in 1938. What was the one featured entree? Was it pork chops, beef tenderloin, prime rib, or rump roast?
To win, log on to FLWOutdoors.com. The winner is randomly drawn from all correct answers. Winners receive a die-cast replica of an FLW Outdoors sponsor boat, value $185.
Welcome back to FLW Outdoors and coverage of the 2004 Forest Wood Open. $1.25 million on the line. $200,000, Charlie, goes to our winner today.
And that can make the entire year for one fortunate angler $200,000 in the bank account.
A life-changing event. Well, our leader heading into today was Fuji Pro Randy Blockett, holding a very narrow lead by 1 ounce. He's with Taylor Carr right now. And Taylor, earlier Randy had 4 fish in the boat. How's he doing right now?
Well, he's just caught his limit fish, and Blockett's really got it working now. 5 fish in about 40 minutes, and Randy has a limit. Randy, that's number 5. You hadn't planned to sight fish today, though, had you?
No, Taylor, at all. In fact, I didn't. All I brought was my jerkbait box today, because that's what I had been catching a lot of them on. And I brought 3 of these little Lucky Strike tubes. That's all I got. I mean, if I lose these, I'm going to have to go back to my jerkbait. But I fished the jerkbait for like 3 hours, and it's just completely slick out there. You can see the bait coming all the way back to the boat. And I just had to make an adjustment. I haven't even looked at any fish since I've been here, but I just was trying to fish the conditions.
Randy, it's all about making adjustments, isn't it?
That's it. I mean, that's the whole thing about it. It's, you have to fish the conditions. And, the weather forecast has not been right all week long. I was just real fortunate that I even brought any of these tubes with me today, because I sort of made a commitment to that jerkbait.
Now, how are you going to make those 2 tubes last the rest of the day if it stays flat like this?
I hope I have to worry about it. I hope I get enough bites to worry about it, but I caught 5 fish on that 1 tube. I'll just have to adjust when that situation approaches itself. But
all right, good luck, Randy.
Thank you.
Randy Blockett, Fuji Pro, who has 5 fish in the boat, all sight fishing. He didn't plan to do it today, but he's doing it quite well right now.
Well, Taylor, will Randy stay in that same area all day long?
Well, he'll stay in this area. It's about a 2 square mile area here, and he can sight fish if the water stays flat. He can also do his jerkbait if he wants to around here. I think Randy's committed to this area here to either win or lose the tournament.
Thank you, Taylor. All right, let's talk about Evinrude Pro Dan Moorhead. Last year wins the Angler of the Year, also wins the Walmart Open. This year he's already qualified for the championship, and he's gunning for the Forest Wood Open title as well. Dan joins us right now. Dan, you're just 1 ounce off of the lead. How's it going so far today?
Well, I can't complain. We've got a limit. It's a little tougher than it has been. I really don't know what the problem is just yet. If it's the weather, I mean, we've got such a perfect day. It's just dead slick calm, and that's kind of tough on smallmouth when you're fishing in this clear of water. But I don't know if it's that or if I've picked my spots over pretty hard the last 3 days. But we're trying some new water and some new stuff, and trying to put the puzzle together, and we're going to make it happen.
You're going to change locations at all, change depths at all, try to catch the bigger fish to move you up into the winning spot here, Dan?
Well, I think it's a matter of location. These fish I think, feed a lot by sight, and it's amazing how many times you'll pull up to a spot and mark out the exact thing you want to fish, and you'll catch that better fish on the first cast. I don't know if they hear that bait hit the water or if they're looking up all the time, but so I think what we're going to do is try to just see how many waypoints I can hit and just hit the key spots on them and run and gun, and all we need, I need about 3 more good bites, and I think I'll be in good shape.
All right, Dan Moorhead is just 1 ounce off of the lead, currently in 2nd place, and in this log jam of very talented leaders, we expect a great weigh-in a little bit later on. Thanks a lot, Dan. Best of luck to you.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, that's Dan Moorhead. He will join this stage behind us momentarily. When we come back on FLW Outdoors, our 10 finalists take the stage. Somebody wins the first place prize of $200,000 and the very prestigious Forest Wood Open title.
We had a pretty good day today, but the bite was slow, and I didn't get near the bites that I wanted to, but we'll just take what we got and go in and see what happens.
I'm real happy with everything. I think I caught close to what I wanted to catch today. Pretty much everything went as game planned. I mean, the whole week went just like I wanted it to. I wanted to catch a limit early this morning and then go jerk bait, and I caught a couple doing that, and I wanted to finish the day off with some big ones, so I'm happy with it.
I feel like I worked hard enough at it, and I did the right things, and I caught a lot of fish, and I made it through all the wind and waves and 500 or 600 miles of boat driving I've done in the last couple of days. I'm really pleased with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are your 10 finalists for the Forest Wood Open. From Satsuma, Alabama, Jason Kilpatrick. From Hot Springs, Arkansas, Rob Kilby. From Grove City, Ohio, Charlie Hartley. From Clewiston, Florida, BF Goodrich Pro Scott Martin. From Gastonia, North Carolina, Snickers Pro Chris BAUMGARDNER. From Rogersville, Alabama, Jonathan Newton. Our next finalist is the defending Forest Wood Open champion who is in prime contention for a second straight title. Currently in fourth place, just 14 ounces off the lead. From Castaic, California, Aaron Martins. Our next finalist is the former Angler of the Year. He's in his 29th top 10 in the FLW Outdoors system, 12 on the FLW Tour. He's currently in third place, just 2 ounces off the lead. From Sevierville, Tennessee, David Walker. Our next finalist is the reigning Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year. Currently in second place, just 1 ounce off the lead. From Paducah, Kentucky, Dan Moorhead. Our final finalist has competed in every FLW tournament since 1997. He's surged to the top of the field with a strong day 3 weight. Currently your leader with a total weight of 16 pounds 2 ounces from Lamar, Missouri, Fuji Pro Randy Blockett. Ladies and gentlemen, here they are, your 10 finalists for the Forest Wood Open. When we come back on FLW Outdoors, we will work through our field of finalists. The shootout style weigh-in starts next on FLW Outdoors. FLW Outdoors is presented by Yamaha Outboards, by Minn Kota, anywhere, anytime, by Snickers, going fishing, grab a Snickers, and by Fujifilm, get the picture.
And welcome back to the $1.25 million Forest Wood Open. We're in Plattsburgh, New York, and our weigh-in has begun. Man, talk about an exciting weigh-in. Our leader is Randy Blockett of Lamar, Missouri, Fujifilm Pro. Randy has weighed 4 fish for a 4-day total of 27.15. Now, 4 anglers have weighed out, starting with Dan Moorhead, last year's Angler of the Year, Paducah, Kentucky. Dan weighed 5 fish for 10.7, but not enough today for Dan Moorhead. Next to go, Jason Kilpatrick, Skippy Pro from Satsuma, Alabama. He went for big fish today, but only managed 4, and Jason is gone. Next to go, Garmin Pro Rob Kilby out of Hot Springs, Arkansas. It wasn't to be for our Day 2 leader. And finally, Charlie Hartley from Grove City, Ohio. 5 fish, but not enough for Mr. Hartley. Now our 7-Up leaderboard has Randy Blockett on top. His 2-day total is 27 pounds, 15 ounces. After Randy, it's Rob Kilby, Dan Moorhead, and Hartley. They've all weighed out. David Walker still alive with 25.15. Second page of the leaderboard has Aaron Martins, followed by Jonathan Newton, Chris BAUMGARDNER, Scott Martin, and Jason Kilpatrick, who has weighed out. Let's weigh out 2 more. Back on stage to Carlton Wing.
All right, it is my pleasure to introduce not only the namesake for this tournament, but the namesake for the tour we fish. He is FLW, Forrest L. Wood, ladies and gentlemen.
Forrest, this is a very exciting tournament here. Again, your tournament namesake, the Forest Wood Open. But I also know while you're up here, I saw you out at Mooney Bay Marina this morning. Did you get on the water?
I did, and caught a few fish, Charlie. I understand why these people make the sacrifices they do to get to fish tournaments. What a thrill it is to be here at this event and to think how far we've come and how long we've been working so hard and the progress that's been made recently. And I was thinking about the co-angler yesterday afternoon and how excited he was to have an opportunity to do what many of us, Guido Hibden and myself, have been wanting for many, many years, And we have arrived, I guess you'd say, and it's certainly a thrill to me, Charlie, to still be able to be a part of it.
We're so proud to wear FLW as our logo. That means integrity as good as it can get.
Ladies and gentlemen, Forrest L. Wood.
Thank all of you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to the weigh-in. Randy Blockett is our leader, 27 pounds, 15 ounces. Our next challenger is our BF Goodrich Pro, Scott Martin. He's weighed in 2 fish so far, needs to bring up 6 pounds and 9 ounces to be able to retake the lead.
Evinrude Pro, Scott Martin, 6'9", will put him back into the lead.
I want to say happy birthday to my little boy Reed. He turns 4 today. His birthday was today, and I caught a couple fish for him today. So I want to tell him happy birthday. I think they're all at Walmart watching right now.
All right, let's weigh in one more and give him a birthday of putting you back into the lead right here. Looking for 6 pounds, 9 ounces. We have 7 pounds, 3 ounces, the new leader.
All right. Scott Martin has weighed in 4 fish now. He leads the tournament, 28 pounds, 9 ounces. Chris Baumgardner is coming up next. He has weighed in 3. He needs to bring up 6 pounds and 9 ounces to retake the lead.
Our Snickers Pro, 6'9", will put him into the lead and move him ever closer toward Birmingham, Alabama. His final 2 fish weigh in at 4 pounds, 10 ounces, not enough.
No, couldn't get the big bite today.
All right, we got you at work out there on Lake Champlain. Let's check you out, Chris, and tell us what you're doing out there today.
I'm mostly fishing spawning flats, and I kind of run out of fish where I was at. So I went looking to some areas and looked for some largemouth and try to get a big bag and get in that top 3 and make that championship.
I know you want to. You've had a great year. Chris Baumgardner, our Snickers Pro. Let's give him a good round of applause.
Okay, we're halfway through our field of finalists. 5 have weighed out, 5 still alive. Here comes Jonathan Newton, who has weighed in 3 fish so far. He needs to bring up 6 pounds even to be able to retake the lead.
Jonathan again in the Kellogg's boat, our presenting sponsor for this event. Here comes his 5th and final fish. And that should do it. 2 fish here that weigh 7 pounds, 9 ounces, the new leader.
All right. Jonathan Newton has weighed in 5 fish. He now holds the lead. We've crossed the 30-pound plateau. 30 pounds, 3 ounces. He is our leader. Aaron Martins is coming up next. He's weighed in 3. He needs to bring up 5 pounds and 14 ounces to be able to retake the lead.
There we're at 212 for that one. Now his final fish. 514 is what he's looking for. 514. These 2 fish weigh in at 5 pounds, 15 ounces, a new leader, and that eliminates Jonathan. We know this tournament was going to come down to just literally ounces. By 1 ounce, you're bumped out.
1 ounce. It's been a great week. I didn't know a whole lot about the lake. I came up at the last minute. I had a good time. I didn't know a lot. I stayed on one series of flats about a mile long, but the wind was calm this morning, and I could see pretty good. So I got that one. I didn't
get them to bite and get them hooked up. You said pretty easy. Get them in the boat sometimes not quite so easy.
They are really fighters. I really had a good time catching all these fish. I mean, it's a beautiful lake, and I'm going to come back definitely.
His first time out, did a great job. Let's give him a huge round of applause. Great job, Jonathan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are down to our final 4 anglers. Our new leader is Aaron Martins with 30 pounds and 4 ounces. We'll see if David Walker can take the lead when we come back on FLW Outdoors. All right, our next challenger is David Walker, still alive. He's weighed in 4 fish. His 5th and final fish has got to be a doozy. We need 4 pounds and 5 ounces to be able to retake the lead.
He's fishing where big ones live. He's got a nice one, but I'm not sure it's 4 or 5. It's not. Weighs in at 3 pounds, 1 ounce. Man, you need one more big bite somewhere.
Oh, I know it. I know it. That's the story of my life, Charlie. But I can't say enough about just the execution. I did everything right. Everything it bit, I caught it. Never broke a line. Never.
Now let's watch you out there. You're not missing a strike. David Walker at work right here on the monitor. Dave, tell us quickly what you're doing.
I'm getting ready to just really start catching the heck out of them right here, Charlie. I mean, I think I caught about 25 keeper fish today in the 4 hours that I fished, and that's about one every 10 minutes. And it was like that right there all day long. It was just a blast. I really enjoyed fishing there, and I had to do over again. I'd do it again.
David Walker did a great job here. Batted 1,000. Let's give him a great round of applause. Good job, Dave. Perfect tournament. Just not enough big ones.
We are down to our final 3 anglers, and let me tell you, just 2 pounds and 6 ounces separates first from third right now. Aaron Martins is our leader, 30 pounds 4 ounces. Our next challenger is Randy Blockett. Randy must bring up 2 pounds 6 ounces to be able to take the lead with his final fish.
2-6. He takes the lead and eliminates Aaron. Less than that, he's eliminated, and I think he is. One fish here that weighs 1 pound 8 ounces. 1-8. Randy, you did a great job, though.
Yeah, that was the smallest one I had all week. The conditions really deteriorated for what I was doing, Charlie. I was fishing a jerkbait, really relying on the wind, and I didn't have a fish for like 2.5 hours this morning, and it slicked off, and I went to the bank, and I could see him bedding, and I caught a limit. As soon as I got my 5th fish, the wind came up, and went out there and never had any fish hit the bait. Right at the end of the day, I had a 4-pounder about an inch away from the back hook on it, and I just couldn't quite trick her into biting. But it was a great week. I had a good clean week, and just happy to be here.
Great job for Team Fuji. Randy Blockett, let's give him a good round of applause.
I'd like to say one thing. Say hi to my Fujifilm family in the audience there. They're the greatest. And my wife Suzanne, she's visiting family in Wichita. She was trying to get to a Walmart to watch it. So love you, and I'll be home next week.
Randy Blockett.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a little shootout right here. Aaron Martins is still our leader, 30 pounds 4 ounces. 1 angler remains. His name is Scott Martin. 1 fish needs to be at least 1 pound and 12 ounces. That's what separates our champion. We'll crown a winner when we come back on FLW Outdoors.
We've got a jam-packed tent here in Plattsburgh, New York, but I guarantee you the happiest guy in the tent is BF Goodrich pro Chad Grigsby, because it looks like Chris Baumgardner will not finish in the top 3 in this event, and that means you go to the championship. You've got to be thrilled.
Well, it makes me pretty happy. I don't like to wish bad on anybody, but I just wished really well on my teammates. I got 3 teammates up there, Danny and Scott and David, and I was cheering them on pretty hard to beat Chris.
Well, it's not official yet, but unofficially, congratulations.
Thank
now,
you.
2 guys left, Aaron Martins or Scott Martin. Who's going to win this?
I think Scott had a pretty big smile on his face when he came in, so I'm going to, just because he's my teammate, I'm going to pick him.
Chad Grigsby, congratulations. We'll find out when we come back on FLW Outdoors.
FLW Outdoors is brought to you by 7-Up. Make 7-Up yours. By Land O'Lakes, where simple goodness begins. By U.S. Bank, home of the 5-star service guarantee. And by Walmart. Always low prices, always. A lot of money on the line all week long. $1.25 million is the total purse for this, the final event of the 2004 regular season. $200,000 goes to our winner, and it will be either Aaron Martins or Scott Martin. Charlie Evans is with our leader right now. Charlie?
Aaron Martin's already won 1 Forcewood Open, in the lead in a second one. As Carlton said, $200,000 at stake. Second place, though, not bad, $100,000 there. So one way or the other, you're going to walk away with a lot of money.
Yeah, me and my wife talked about this like last year at Wheeler, and then second place is almost as good as first. It's a lot more money, but still $100,000 is a huge chunk of money.
You fished great all week long, brought in those huge smallmouth all week. Let's watch you at work out there on Lake Champlain. Tell us what you're doing here.
I think there's like about 90% of the fish in this lake are on beds right now. That's why a lot of guys are saying they went back to the same spots and they couldn't catch them. They're just gone. There's just a lot of them are picked off. I saw a lot of them in practice that didn't have fish on today. But they're almost everywhere in the lake right now, they're on beds.
I noticed the wide brim cap there. It's so important to block out the sun.
what you want to do is you want to shade the glasses. You don't want any sun on your glasses anywhere. You want all shade, and that's what that hat does.
Key to him catching bedding fish. He's in the lead right now, just barely, 1 pound, 12 ounces ahead. And here is Carlton Wing with our challenger.
All right, this is the last angler remaining who can take the title here at the Forest Wood Open. This is BF Goodrich Pro Scott Martin. Scott, you've weighed in 4 fish. You trail by 1 pound, 12 ounces. You fish very well here at Lake Champlain. The last time you were here, you took 4th place. And the last time there was a major bass tournament on this waterway, your father won it.
That's right. The very first bass tournament they had here back, it was 96 or 97, my father won the event. He was fishing over in Missisquoi Bay, catching largemouth. But I've been blessed this week. The Lord has just really taken care of me, and I've just been really focused this whole week and trying to concentrate on smallmouth. It's hard to win this tournament with only smallmouth, but there's so many 3 to 3.5 to 4 pound smallmouth out there that you can have a consistent bag every day. And a lot of times the largemouth can peter out on you a little bit, kind of like what happened to some of these guys.
Talk a little bit about your technique. Obviously, you know how to catch fish here on this waterway.
Well, pretty much I was sight fishing a lot the first 2 days, and then also throwing a jerk bait as well. Really just trying to concentrate on spawning areas and trying to concentrate on areas that were really had a lot more wind blowing on them during practice than the calmer spots, because that's where everybody's really like to look. So I really spent a lot of time GPSing things in places that people wouldn't look because it was too windy or too rough. And that was the key for me doing well in the tournament.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're ready to find out who the winner is of the Forest Wood Open. All right, let's set the stage right now. Aaron Martins is our leader. He has weighed in all 5 of his fish. Scott Martin is the challenger. He has weighed in 4 fish. With his 5th and final fish, it must be at least 1 pound, 12 ounces to claim the championship of the Forest Wood Open. Scott, what's in your live well?
Oh. I think slightly larger than 112.
I told Reed that I was going to catch him a birthday fish today, and this is it.
A $200,000 birthday fish. This fish weighs in at 3 pounds, 15 ounces. We have a champion.
BF Goodrich Pro Scott Martin is your winner of the 2004 Forest Wood Open. Come around to the front of the stage here. Scott, this has got to be a thrill. $200,000 and the title as the prestigious Forest Wood Open holder.
I'm in another place right now. I don't even have any idea what you just said, to be honest with you. Boy, I tell you, I just want to thank all my sponsors. I want to thank my wife for praying. Oh, man.
They're listening right now in Walmart.
My buddy Randy that travels with me, he's a big part of my success the last couple of years, and I know a lot of guys on the tour know him, and he keeps me focused out there. And that's what it's about, this tournament. I stayed focused the entire tournament and practiced real hard every day, put in my time, and it paid off.
I tell you what, it's going to pay off handsomely for you right now. Here is your check. Here's Krista Schweitzer from Kellogg's. We've got Mr. Forest Wood as well, the namesake of this tournament.
On behalf of Kellogg's, I'm very pleased to present you with this check for $200,000. Congratulations.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, $1.25 million on the line in this Forest Wood Open. What a thrilling tournament it was, and our winner, Scott Martin, taking home a check for $200,000. As we look at our final leaderboard, Aaron Martin's in 2nd place, $100,000, followed by Jonathan Newton, Randy Blockett, David Walker. In 6th place, Rob Kilby, followed by Chris Baumgardner, Dan Moorhead, Charlie Hartley, and Jason Kilpatrick. Thanks for watching this week, everybody, on FLW Outdoors. Be sure to tune in next week when Larry Nixon joins us to help recap this amazing Forest Wood Open. He'll talk to our champion, Scott Martin, and 2 other finalists. Thanks for watching this week. We'll see you next week on FLW Outdoors.